Hello everyone. So it's been a very long time since I've done a video, and there's a lot of reasons for that, and honestly the garden is looking horrendous. Probably the worst year I've had in a while. Part of it is my own fault. Part of it's just natural conditions and whatnot. So anyway, about a month and a half ago we were actually looking to buy a house, and we kind of felt like we were pretty serious about it, and we figured we'd probably be moving in August. So I kind of stopped really taking care of things around here, and I figured I'd just pick off whatever produce I got and not waste a whole lot of time taking care of it, since I was just gonna have to rip it out in a month or so anyway. Well, that didn't actually end up working out. And now we're thinking of possibly building a house instead. Somewhere, buy a big chunk of land and build a house. Actual homestead kind of, instead of just a little farmette thing. So now I have to deal with the big mess that I let go. I have to say also that after that stopped working out, I probably could have taken care of things a little bit more, but we had like a week of 100-degree temperatures, and it was hot and it was humid, and it's just been a nasty summer. In all honesty, it's kind of making me wish that I lived in New York or Maine or somewhere that's not as hot and humid in the summer. But anyway, so with all that going on, things have kind of gotten a bit out of hand, to say the least. And this year my tomatoes have been all kinds of weird. Like, first of all, somehow I ended up with tons of small tomatoes and not so many large sized tomatoes. And I have some purple Russian tomatoes that are really nice tomatoes. They're like a plum tomato, and I got the seeds for free. But oh dear, cut. All right, where were we? So we had a little mud throwing contest going on over there, and somebody who was very much ready for a nap. All right, so what was I saying? Tomatoes. I think I was saying tomatoes. Hopefully I was saying tomatoes. So yeah, the purple Russian tomatoes were seeds, free seeds that I got from Baker Creek Heirloom. And like I said, they're really nice tomatoes. And I have more seeds, and I'm sure I'll grow them next year. But for some reason, the plants all ended up with leaf curl. And I haven't been very good about keeping them watered with all this hot weather. And so they were, they split really easily. But like I said, that's partially my fault for not keeping up with the watering. Also, the soil here is even worse than I thought it was. And apparently there's so much sand here that we even have actual legitimate sand burrs growing in our yard, which is kind of a pain, because if you've ever lived near a beach, you know that sand burrs stick to everything, including your skin. And they don't even have to be completely dry to stick to everything either. So, the only thing that has grown really good here is the grass, basically. The long beans are still doing pretty good, because nothing ever seems to get them down. However, this is the first year I have ever really had to deal with aphids. I mean, I've had like a few here or there on things before, but This is the first time I've ever like really had like just huge, insane colonies of aphids on all kinds of stuff, all kinds of aphids. I even discovered something I didn't know existed, which is called root aphids, and they're basically aphids that attack the roots of plants. I pulled up a radish and it was just like covered in them. What is this mess? So yeah, this is the year of the aphids. I haven't really had any problems with squash beetles. I mean, I've seen, or squash bugs. I've seen a few, mostly on tomato plants, which is odd. But I really haven't seen a whole lot of those. And they haven't bothered my squash at all. Not that my squash is really worth bothering. The only squash that actually grew well was my golden crookneck squash, which I think was an heirloom variety. I got it from a seed swap. It was kind of a bumpy squash. It was good though, and like I said, it was the only squash that actually did good this year. I've had some butternut, but I've got 4 butternut squash, but they're about a third the size of the kind you would buy in the supermarket. So they're still edible, but you know, I'm gonna have to eat all 4 of them at the same time, kind of thing, to make a meal. So yeah, basically that's it. So yesterday was cool, really nice and cool. Like high 76, which compared to the last week of up near 100. I think one day we had a heat index of like 120 or something. It was insane. So compared to that week, yesterday was like actually kind of chilly. And it rained all day. Like, I mean, like, not like some rain in the afternoon or heat, lightning, thunderstorm kind of rain. It was just like constant rain all day. Not mist either. It was legit rain all day. So the plant, I'm sure the grass is gonna go crazy. It's already long and needs to be cut, so that's on the agenda for the afternoon. After lunch, I think I'll put the baby in the wrap and cut some grass. Like my hat. I love this thing. Picked it up at the thrift shop. I would gladly get some more of them. I don't know, they fit really good. They're comfortable. It's Asian. And it really keeps the sun out of your face. Without being too like hot sitting on your head, because it's just kind of a cone perched up there, so it's not actually holding your head at all like a regular round hat top thing. What else? Well, I guess that's about it. So my plan for today is to rip out all the plants that are done or dead or not doing what they're supposed to do, cut the grass, and then start planning anything I need to plant in the fall and what I'm going to do next year. This year, provided we're here next year. I mean, I'm sure we'll be here. If we buy land and build a house, it'll be like buy land now and in a year or 2 build. So we'll probably be here for another year or so. Unless like the perfect house with the perfect land just kind of pops up on the market at a good price, then we might buy it. But plan at this point is to buy land and then in a year or 2 build a house. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, my corn is basically all dead. There's one, I think it's like a foot tall, and it's still kind of alive, and it's thinking about, you know, doing something, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not going to pull it out, just in case something magically happens to grow on it, or miraculously grow on it, or whatever. But Gwenny's corn is also really pathetic. There's 2 of them that are like maybe 2 feet tall. I don't know if you can see it back there. But they're a lot healthier looking than mine. And they are getting their, what you call it, the top piece that has all the pollen and everything on it, whatever that's called. They are getting that on them, so I'm gonna leave them and hopefully we'll get a little bit of popcorn, at least enough to save for next year. I do have some left. We didn't plant all of it. I've learned a few things about planting corn since then, so, and about this property and the ground and my own capabilities. So next year the plan is to keep the garden a lot smaller and more manageable, and manage it. And probably these front sections of garden I'll keep, maybe rearrange beds a little bit, and that's about it. So I'll see you around. Wish me luck. So I realized that I didn't actually show you any of the mess that is my garden. So I thought I'd give you a little tour. I also forgot to mention that besides those tomatoes that we're splitting, a lot of my tomatoes have started just like rotting on the vine. And I do have some nice little bachelor buttons over here, and all these sunflowers are falling over from all the rain yesterday. So I might just pick them and put them in a vase. Those ones over there are happy. And this Verbena bonariensis I actually grew from seed. I think I probably planted 100 seeds, and that is the only plant that grew. But I am so happy about it. I love that stuff. Yeah, there's my long beans over there. And as you can see, the grass has gone wild. And there's peppers and kale. My chamomile did really good this year. And there's some white grape tomatoes. I'm being very honest here. My garden is a mess and mostly covered in grass. So today's job is clean things up before it gets hot again, because let's face it, it's almost August and this weather is not going to stay this way. So today's job is to clean everything up and hopefully get ready for some better things in the future. Alright, well, for real this time, I'll see you around. Hope all your gardens are doing better than mine is this year. See ya.